my body, I bought it for you. Take and eat my body, I bought it for you. Take and eat, it's my body, I bought it for you. Alright, let's pass this around. Take and eat, it's my body, I bought it. I dream in violence, in comic cannibals. I may not be beautiful, but at least I'm not ridiculous. I went to a Sting concert. He came into the audience and hit on my friend, and I got pissed. So in Tex Avery cartoon fashion, I screamed, "I'm gonna punch your lights." And Sting said, "Walk me to my car." So we walked down a gravel country road. And I said, "Hey, Sting. Hey, Sting. I really like that Desert Rose song that you sing." And he said, "Oh, really? I never wanted to do it. I never really liked it." He confessed to me. I forgot to mention he was carrying me. And Sting gently set me down, and we did the obligatory kiss on the cheek. And I said, "Why do we fight?" And then Sting flew away into a clear blue sky.
and brushstrokes of soft gray clouds hung just so. Some of those clouds held tender flurries, just waiting to jump and flit to the ground. One of those flurries was me. There I am. where kids dip their toes and poke at tadpoles. One of those neighborhood kids, bless her heart, she sloshed me up in a bucket and took me back to play in her little plastic pool. We played and splashed all afternoon. And later in the evening, the girl left. She was sick of waiting. Wow, you guys, that's a pun. We don't know. Was she sick of waiting with a T or waiting in the muck? I think it was with a T. So she left, and her little schnoodle puppy Max came over to take a little sip out of the pool. But remember, I'm the little raindrop in that pool. So I was sure I was gonna get swallowed up in one go, and I was. But something about Maxie's saliva, the placement of the sun and the earth, and the fact that I need to move this story along. A little bubble grew on the puppy's tongue, and she spat it in the grass. And it began to grow and 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 grow to 59 inches and 3/4. That's me! I popped right out of that bubble. Almost fully grown. And my name is Kitty Poole. It's so good to see you guys. Thanks for coming to the show. Let's give yourselves a hand. So, not everybody you're going to see tonight is me. There's going to be other characters, but don't be afraid. This is a safe space. So, a couple other things. I'm 6 years old, and I'm a performance artist.
Okay, well, whatever. Somebody made a porno with me and my friend in it. It was supposed to be an art installation, and there was like on a brick wall, it spray painted onto a brick wall, and when you saw the graffiti, you also watched the movie, and it was supposed to be like really arty. And well, the project turned out to be disgusting, surprise. So I was like all crying and stuff, and I went up to my roommate, and I was just talking to her about it. And out of the next room, this like fat man appears, and he's all like menacing towards us, and like licking his chops and stuff. And then behind him, I see out of our like big giant picture window. It was awesome. There was this giant green, gray, like orangish cloud, and it was the end of the world. And the force of this cloud like mashed into our building, and it collapsed our building. And we ended out in like this desert, and it felt like my parents' house, but like down the cul-de-sac from my parents' house, not really my parents' house, and like all apocalyptic and shit. And it's just like, me and my roommate and this fat man, and he had a gun to our heads, and he was like, suck my dick. I'm like, great, I survived the end of the world just to be killed by the Mexican Kevin James. That's just what he looked like. And then out of the apocalypse dust, in like perfect lighting and tight leather, Antonio Banderas struts by. And like young, hot Antonio Banderas, right? And he shoots the fat man. But the fat man was so fat that he didn't die. He just sort of like fell over. And the bullet was lodged in blubber somewhere between skin and death. And he just like sneered and was like, is that all you got? So Antonio shot him again, and again, and again, dust, hair. And then the man's blood flowed like rivers over the sand as these tiny clay drupulets rose from beneath. And I leaned in to get a closer look, and there were tiny little earths. They grew to like maybe a foot in diameter. And then this like voice, this narrator or God or whatever, was like, and then his blood became a part of you and part of a new world. I was like, new world, whatever, this still feels like Los Angeles. TED Talks. Golly, oh gee, I'm really happy to be here. It's a very prestigious conference. Now, I am Dr. Temple, and I'm here to talk to you tonight about animal crackers in my soup. Now, traditionally, monkeys and rabbits say loop-the-loop. Now, in my research, I found that it's true monkeys love the loop-the-loop. They'll loop-the-loop all day. But rabbits really prefer a more straightforward or grid-like trajectory. Now, it's important. It's important when trying to understand an animal, or in this case, animal cracker, to think similar to my brain, to the autistic brain, to think in pictures. Is there something out of the ordinary in that picture? Is there a spoon in the way? Move it out of the way. Sink it under the liquid a little bit. Anything that may seem ordinary to you may make the crackers bomb. Now, there's one main emotion that drives an animal cracker, the same emotion that used to drive me, and that's fear. Now that animal cracker doesn't want to get eaten. It's constantly looking out for predators. Now, I find the best way to get perspective on that, and to really see what the animal cracker's thinking, is to get down with my head into the soup, really get down there, so I can see an easy transition from the soup to the spoon, out of the soup, into my mouth, and of course we all know what happens from there. Now, the monkeys and rabbits, bears and walrus, whatnot, they might not know, but just by paying attention, if I can create a less stressful and more humane process to get out of that soup, well, then I've done my job. Yeah. Thank you.